Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, DZ, the Crochet Lady, and I have a super fun project for you. Today, I'm going to be using these two different color yarns to make this really cute 80s style crochet purse, and you can use two strands of whatever you like. This one's a little bit thicker. This is by Loops and Threads, which you get at Michael's, and this one is I Love This Yarn Pinky Toes from Hobby Lobby. There's a little bit of metallic in there, which just sets it off really nice. And we're going to be working these two strands together, just like this. If you don't have two strands of yarn that you want to use, you can always just use like a bulkier yarn of 5, which I believe is bulky, and a super bulky too, if that's what you've got. I like to leave kind of a long tail because I want to weave it into the bottom to make it that much more secure. So I'm going to be using a size 6mm hook with these. You'll probably need a yarn needle and a tapestry needle to sew on our button in the very end. I will be using a couple of different stitch markers to just to keep track and to demonstrate where we are in the making of this item. So we're going to start out with a chain of 23, and I'll see you in just 1 second. All right, so we have our chain made, and we're going to take our stitch markers and mark a couple of important places just for the sake of this video. So I'm going to mark, so I've got my last loop here, and I'm going to mark this loop, this chain loop right here. Put my hook back in there just so you know what we're doing. And then I'm going to mark, let's see, that one, this loop right here. So we have one side of the end loop and then the other side, okay? So we're going to single crochet in the upper loops. So we're single crochet in the second chain using the upper loops. And we're going to single crochet all the way across. All the way to right here. Okay, so we're down to the other end, and I've made my last single crochet, and I just have the last chain. So I've got the opposite side of the last chain and then this current side that we're working on. In this last chain here, we're going to make 3 single crochet. But actually, let me tuck in my little tail there and get that under those last 2 crochet. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. And then I'm just going to make 1 more in there. And you can see why I marked that other side of the loop, because it can almost like get buried once you make your stitches in there. So I'm just going to take that out, and we're just going to make 1 single crochet in there all the way down to the end, right down here. Okay, so I'm back down to the other end, and I have my last loop marked, but we're not going to crochet into that. What we're going to do is just skip right over that and come into the very first single crochet we made, and we're going to make 3 single crochet in that stitch. All right, and we are done increasing, and you can actually pull these little threads here to close your opening right there, and it's already nice on this side. So we've got both of our corners, and Now we're just going to make half double crochet for 8 rounds all the way around. And after a couple of rounds, your item will start to take shape up going this way. Okay, so we have 8 rounds of half double crochet, and make sure that you count so that you know you're even on both sides. And we finished the last half double crochet of round 8. So we have our side stitch and the stitch from the opposite side. We're going to make our first decrease right there, and then we're going to do the same thing over on this side. So to make your decrease, you're just going to yarn over and insert your hook into that middle side stitch there. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and then insert it into the next loop. Yarn over and pull through all 4. Well, it'll be actually 8 just because we have extra yarn. Okay, and then you're just going to continue with half double crochet around making your decrease over here using this stitch right here and this front one right here. Okay, so we've completed round 9. We've made both of our decreases on each side, and so round 10 is just going to be 2 half double crochet in each stitch around. One more time for a total of 10 rounds. Okay, we have 10 rounds of half double crochet, and I have stopped at the last half double crochet just before my center middle stitch here on the side, and then my front or stitch on the opposite side. Now what we're going to do is slip stitch in each stitch until we get to the other middle stitch, or I should say side stitch. And you're going to actually slip stitch into that stitch as well. And what this does is it makes your purse a little more sturdy in the front. Now we've done our last slip stitch, and next we're going to make single crochet. We're going to make single crochet in each stitch across all the way to the last half double crochet right here. Don't crochet into your slip stitch, only the half double crochet. So I'll meet you guys right over here in just 1 second. Okay, we completed the last single crochet for the first row of our flap. And what we're going to do next is turn. And we're not going to chain one. We're just going to simply stick with single crochet in that same stitch. You can mark this if you want, and in each stitch across. And we're going to make a total of 10 rows of single crochet. And on the 10th row, we're going to make our button loop. So go ahead and repeat this. Let's see, we've got one, we're working on 2. So 8 more rows, and then remember on the 10th row, don't finish it because we're going to make our button loop. Just a note, you may have to kind of like shift your item because it is crocheted in a spiral. So you may have to shape it just a tiny bit, you know, to make it nice and even. Okay, so we are ready to do row 10, and we're just going to single crochet like we have been. And I have these stitches marked off because this is where the middle is, and you'll see what we're going to do in just a moment here. Make sure, is that my same stitch? No, you want to crochet into the same stitch. I don't know why I skipped that. There we go. Okay, so we're approaching our middle. Okay, and let's see if we've done enough stitches. We want to have our loop right in, well, we want to have our opening right in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this would be our middle stitch right here. And so we're right on target. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Make 12 single crochet, and then we're going to make our chain. Now the chain that you make is going to depend on the size button that you're going to use. This is a 1-inch button, so I don't really want it to be too big. And I'm actually going to switch hooks to make the buttonhole. So let's do that right now. So you don't want it to be too long because, as you know, crochet is stretchy. So let's go ahead and make our chain. And you don't want it to be so tight that you can barely squeeze it on and then, you know, your yarn ends up tearing. Let me see, do I want one more? Okay. That looks like it's going to be about right because once it's filled up with stitches, then it'll be kind of thick. So let's pull our yarn out and then insert your hook just like that. We're going to go back just like that. Yarn over and then just pull that through. And let's make our single crochets in our loop. Yeah, I'm just trying to get one more in there. You don't want it to be like so tight that it's like, you know, you won't even be able to get your button in there. Okay. And then, so now our loop is done. I'm just gonna switch back to my larger hook. And then in this stitch right here, the next stitch, we're gonna slip stitch, and then single crochet back in that same stitch. And then continue with your single crochet across. Yay, so we have a nice, perfect looking button loop, and this is gonna go so nice. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to get it on later or any of that jazz. Just pull up a tail long enough to weave in and snip that off. And we're gonna attach that later, or I should say weave that in later. So the next step is to create our ruffle edge, and I'm just gonna use one strand. I'm gonna use the glittery yarn, the sparkle. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start from this side here. Just tuck that under, out of the way. And make a slip knot around your hook. Yarn over twice. And we're going to insert our hook right here. You see you have these lines down each pair of single crochet. So we're going to crochet starting in the middle of this first seam right here, this first line. And we're going to make a standing triple crochet. And we're going to make 3 more half double crochet in that stitch. And then in between the 2 sets, you have this line right here. You're going to make 3 triple crochet in there. And then just continue. So you're going to do 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, and then 4 on the edge right here. All right, so all of the ruffles are done on the side, and as I said, we're going to make 4 in the stitch right here, and then we're going to make 4 in each stitch all the way across, including these stitches in here. Okay, so you want to work your ruffle in each stitch that is being taken up by your loop. Otherwise it will be uneven. So right here it's a little bit jumbled, but you can see there's the opening there, and then the other opening is right over here. And just continue around. Once you get over to here and you've done your last stitch, your last 4 triple crochet in your edge stitch right here, then we're going to go back to what we did over on the other side for this ruffle. So you'll make 3 triple crochet and then 4, 3 and 4. And I know when I was I went back to the other clip and I realized that I said half double crochets over on this side of the ruffle, and I don't mean that. I meant triple crochet all the way around. All of the ruffle is triple crochet, so I just made a little boo-boo there. So go ahead and finish crocheting all the way around. Remember, it's going to be 4 in each of the stitches across here, and then just like we did over here, you're going to make that same count of triple crochet in each section on this side. Yay. If you haven't weaved in all of your ends, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and find the center stitch that is going to be suitable for where you have your loop and your button come together. Wow. Super nice. Aren't you just going to make a whole bunch of these in like every single color to match everything that you have? And one of the cool things is, besides this lending itself to basically any size, you can line it really easily. I still have to sew my bottom together. I like to take these tails here and like weave it back and forth to secure the bottom of my bag. Of course, you don't have to do that, just something, you know, a little extra. But lining this with some felt or, you know, some pretty satin or something like that is going to give it even that much more life. And I can guarantee you, when you flaunt this out in public, people are going to look and ask you if you made it, where can they get one, and so forth. All right, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I really loved making this pattern and sharing it with you. All right. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. In the meantime, peace out and happy crochet!